From requesting a trade from the franchise that drafted him, to Dame himself being super picky and annoying about his next destination. Here's why Damian Lillard could be the next Ben Simmons. Before you shut the video, at least hear me out. Are you telling me there isn't any resemblance between the way Dame's requested a trade from the Trailblazers and the time Simmons did the same with the Sixers? Because I don't buy that. It's there for everyone to see, and this could even turn out to be just as ugly as the Simmons Sixers fall out. But hopefully Portland won't go down that route, because Lillard's more than a franchise legend at this point, more than requesting a trade. There are so many similarities between these two sagas that I feel compelled to do a little comparison. Before I get into it, use this as a disclaimer, because no one's implying here that Ben and Dame are the same types of players. They aren't even in the same league, with Lillard making NBA's 75th anniversary team and Simmons' greatest achievement being that #1 pick. This also isn't to say that every player who asks for a trade away from the franchise which drafted them can be considered a similar case study. But there are plenty of similarities here, with plenty of disagreements between the player and the franchise, leading to a dispute and eventually turning into a clean break. Okay, that's a lie. Nothing about the Simmons-Philly breakup was clean, but there's an increasing possibility that the Portland-Dame breakup turns just as ugly, if not more. Don't shoot the messenger, but a couple of unnamed GMs from the league are already comparing the two situations. Why? Well, it doesn't take a genius to figure out how Philadelphia refused to make any hasty trade when Simmons kicked up a fuss and demanded to be traded away. Fans were absolutely devastated when the news broke out, but eventually they got tired of the entire charade because both sides were hoping the other one blinks first. The Simmons saga ended up taking a long time to be resolved, with the player waiting until the trade deadline of the following year to finally get his wish granted to move out of the city of brotherly love, ironically. There's more than a huge possibility that the Lillard trade rumors go on until the trade deadline of 2024. No one wants that, I know, but no one wanted that to happen with Simmons either. That's the thing. You can't predict the outcomes of situations like these. All you can do is hope they lead to a swift resolution, but to be very honest, there isn't one in sight for this one. Can you actually say it with your whole chest that Damian won't get fed up with Portland cheaping out with him? He's a respected figure, arguably the greatest player in the Blazers franchise history. But trust me when I say this, Portland isn't to blame for this mess. It's Miami's fault, because they can't stump up an offer good enough for the Blazers to let go of the greatest player in their history. And you know what? No one actually needs me to explain this point. Ask yourself, in what world does it make sense for a franchise like Portland to let go of the best player they've ever had? For a package built around Tyler Herro? God, that's disrespectful to Dame himself, because he's still one of the best players in the world. If Miami think they can put a package around Herro and get the Blazers to accept it because Damian's getting mad at them, then that's not happening. I get the whole emotional aspect of it. Dame's given everything and more to the franchise. He loves Rip City, but does that mean the franchise should accept the worst offer from the Heat? No, not at all. And in the real world, the NBA isn't only a sport, it's a business. Why would the Trailblazers owners accept a package which doesn't make any sense for the biggest asset they have in Portland? So cry me a river, Andy Ellisberg, who's heading the Heat's front office. No one feels any sympathy for Miami. Portland has every right to say no to the offer, and they've promised their fans that they'll look out for the best possible offer, even if it means waiting until after the season has begun. Yeah, like I said, there's a very real possibility that this trade goes on until the first week of February 2024. To make matters worse for Miami and for the millions of NBA fans who want to see Lillard on South Beach, the Blazers hold all the cards in this one. It's not even like Dame's running out of his contract anytime soon. He's got 4 years left on this one, so the Blazers can actually take all the time in the world and still say no, because they can. In their defense, the Blazers front office was very quick to tell the Heat they've got no plans of accepting Herro as part of any deal. If the Heat still want to give him up, then it's better to find a third team to dump him. while the Blazers get whatever the Heat would have received from this hypothetical third team. This is one major difference from the Simmons-Sixers saga, because he only wanted to get out of Philadelphia and Dame only wants to go to Miami. Ben didn't have a preference for a particular team and was shocked himself when the Brooklyn Nets came up with a package. Lillard's made it clear on more than one occasion that if he leaves Rip City, it'll be for the sunshine of Miami only. Unfortunately, this only complicates the Dame deal more, because the Trailblazers can't look for other options and need to find a way to complete this deal with the Heat. That's right. If his Instagram lives weren't enough, Damian's been very vocal about playing with Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo in Miami, as he believes the Heat culture is what'll take him to that elusive ring. Somehow, there's another layer of complexity added because of these demands, because Portland has made its own demand asking for one of Adebayo or Butler in exchange for Lillard. I'm absolutely certain that Dame tried to rip his hair out the minute he heard about this demand. It defeats the whole purpose. Yet I don't know, but I feel like they've got every right to make that demand. Harrow's not even close to making up for what the Blazers will be losing with Lillard, and if there is someone on that roster who can be a good makeshift in the trade, it's gotta be Bam or Jimmy. Unfortunately, if Butler or Adebayo move to Portland as part of this deal, then Dame's willingness to move to Miami will also decrease, because what's the point of taking one step forward and two backwards? Many analysts claim this is not an unfair demand, and I can't lie, they're spot on. Look at what the Timberwolves gave up for Rudy Gobert, or what was involved in the Paul George trade. That's the kind of package Portland's after, either a host of first-rounders, or at least a decent package built around a superstar. If he'd shown a willingness to move to any other franchise, then I'm sure the Blazers would have gotten a package worthy of Dame himself, because the likes of the OKC Thunder, New Orleans Pelicans, and many others would have happily given up one of their stars or many picks to get Lillard in. The man's got his eyes on Miami though, and I think Lillard deserves a bit of criticism for this. Because if you want a ring, many other teams can help him win one. It doesn't necessarily have to be the Heat. And cause of this demand alone, this trade saga's dragging on and on. It limits his number of trade destinations and makes everything so much more annoying for every party involved. At one point, I'm sure Miami would be asking themselves if it's worth all the hassle. It is. Oh, it definitely is. But there were some big names available in the guards department all summer long. They waited for Damian and even promised him that a deal will be struck. It still could be. But the Heat are acting all broke now, and that's not good news. To me, the only hope here is that the Heat need to be on the phone with all the other 28 franchisees in the NBA, looking to find a third team, which will take up Harrow happily while giving plenty of first-round picks in return. The chances of that happening are very low, but with persuasion, anything is possible. Maybe they're already trying to find a solution, but the clock's ticking and patience is running out. So, from Dame himself being super picky and annoying about his next destination, to requesting a trade from the franchise that drafted him, that was why Damian Lillard could be the next Ben Simmons.